The worst mistake I've ever made in business was deciding to get into the internet by converting all of my content online because, I was just thinking of a scalable way to move forward. Unfortunately, the idea itself was not the problem. The problem was the execution. And yes, I had a great idea, but I didn't know the nuts and bolts enough to be able to move from where I was to where I needed to go. So yes, I had a strategy. Did I have the capability? No. In fact, I had a lot of people who were not capable. And during that time, it probably cost me over $350,000 of a really bad setback, realizing that I was trying to push for something that was impossible to do. And the way by which I've recovered from this is, number one, study the hiring process and understand how hiring actually takes place. How do I actually get the right people, the right level of competency, and the right kind of connection so that when we're having a conversation, you're not just treating me like a boss, but rather we are partners in a direction that you deem to be valuable, that's meaningful for you, that also returns fuel for me. So we call this the TCA analysis. Identifying the tasks of that role, identifying the level of competency required, and the attributes that this character carries in order to have a fulfilling connection and employment. The next thing that I've done is to isolate processes so that I can take processes in small little bite-sized chunks, we call them atomized processes, in order for me to not stumble. I remember trying to set up my own landing pages at the beginning, and yes, I can do some sales copy and all that kind of copywriting magic. It's not so difficult for me, but to understand the structure, how many do I put up? What one-time offers do I establish? Where do I put the button? What color is it? All of these are technical details that unless you do it frequently, you don't get very much practice. And to be fair, right now, I probably have quite a fair bit of practice after so many years, but it's also something that a lot of people underestimate. They just think, oh, it's this thing. And then they try and do it and they realize that they end up taking 2 or 3 weeks doing it. So don't waste your time and effort. Instead, seek out coaching, courses, workshops, have a conversation with a community that already knows how to do this in order for you to take that to the next level. So yes, my mistakes were grave. Have I recovered from them? Kind of. And all I can say is that I can see that many of these mistakes are just simply blessings in disguise. They've helped me to become a much more empathetic coach and allowed me to see the blind spots that a lot of entrepreneurs cannot see. And this is why I do what I do. I reach out to entrepreneurs because I know that they're about to make certain kinds of mistakes, warn them about it, and help them to recognize a better pathway towards achieving their goals and dreams.